The station Unity floated near Jupiter, a ring of light in the dark. It was built for peace. Its walls were white, its halls wide and open. No weapons, no guards with guns. Just space for talk. Delegates from many worlds arrived. The Thalnorian ambassador came in her slow, heavy suit. The Zin Elder floated in on a low hum, its crystal body glowing soft blue. Even a new Varel envoy landed, a calm male named Track. Not a warrior, but a thinker. Kavorn was not invited. Alex Carter stepped onto the station last. He wore the same gray suit. No badge, no sword, just a man. Nora Reyes and Dean Kelly stood behind him, not as soldiers, but as witnesses. President Linda Wright stayed on Earth, watching through the screen. The meeting began in silence. Track spoke first. "We are here because the old way failed. Kavorn used lies. He used war. He did not speak for all Virel. We are sorry for the pain caused." Alex nodded. "Thank you. That means more than you know." The Thalnorian ambassador leaned forward. "We have seen your actions. You fight when attacked. You help when you can. You do not seek to rule. This is rare in the stars. We are just people," Alex said. "Like you. We lose, we hurt, we love, and we want a future." The Zin Elder pulsed a slow green. "We have watched. Earth does. Not hoard, does not destroy, shares food, tech, hope. This is balance." A pause. Then Track said, "We are ready to end the blockade. Return your ships, open the trade lanes." Alex did not smile yet. "And Earth's place in the Concord?" The room went still. The Thalnorian ambassador looked at the others. One by one they gave a sign. Nod, pulse, hum. "Earth," she said, "will be granted full membership, equal, with voice, with vote." Alex took a breath. It was not joy, not relief. It was weight, the weight of what came next. "We accept," he said, "but not just for us. For all who have been pushed aside, for the small colonies, the quiet voices, the ones who suffer in silence." Track said, "What do you ask?" "That we make new rules," Alex said. "Rules that protect all, not just the strong. That no ship can be attacked without proof. That no world can be blocked from trade without a fair trial." The Zin Elder pulsed yellow. Thinking, then blue. "Agreement. We will write them," the Thalnorian said. The meeting went on for hours, not in anger, in talk, in care. They built a new path, one word at a time. Meanwhile, on Earth, people watched the live feed. In cities, in homes, in space stations, they stood together. Some cried, some smiled. None spoke. They had waited so long to be seen. And now, they were. Later, Alex walked to the observation deck. Nora joined him. "Did we win?" she asked. "We did," he said. "But not how people think. We didn't win by force. We won by being human." She looked out at Jupiter, huge and striped in the sky. "I used to think war was the only way, to be strong." "So did I," Alex said. "But strength is also in mercy, in truth, in holding a door open for someone who's been afraid." They stood in silence. Back on the station, the new charter was signed. The Galactic Accord of Unity. Earth's mark was first, not because they were the strongest, but because they had walked the hardest path. Track approached Alex before he left. "I have a question. When you stood in the council and said, 'You wanted war, you got it,' did you mean to fight us all?" Alex looked at him. "No. I meant, you wanted a weak enemy to crush, but you got a strong people who would not break. And in the end, that scared you more than any weapon." Track nodded slowly. "Maybe that's what peace needs. Not power, but courage." Alex smiled. "We have plenty of that." The shuttle left the next morning. As it rose from the station, Alex looked back one last time. The unity shone in the pole. Sun, small but bright. On the way home, Dean played a message from Mars. The first full harvest was in. Wheat, potatoes, even tomatoes. The colony sent a single photo. People laughing, holding food, standing under a dome with Earth in the sky. Nora said, "We did that." "We all did," Alex said. When they reached Earth, there was no parade. No loud cheers. Just a quiet crowd. At the spaceport, men, women, children, old and young. They held candles. They held signs. One said, "We stood together." Alex stepped out. He did not speak at first. He just looked at them. Then he said, "They tried to break us. They thought we were too emotional, too wild, too young. But they forgot one thing." He paused. "Humans care. We care about our families, our homes, our future. And when someone tries to take that, we rise." The crowd did not cheer. They raised their candles higher. That night, Alex sat on his roof, as he often did. The stars were clear. His phone buzzed. A message from Nora. "Fleet report. All ships safe. All lanes open. No threats." He typed back, "Good. Stay ready. Stay kind." He put the phone down. Far above, the Vanguard patrolled near the belt. Not to fight, to guard, to say, "We are here." And on 1,000 worlds, people told the story. Of the small planet that refused to kneel. Of the ambassador who spoke one line that changed everything. Of the day Earth said no and became more than a world, a voice, a hope, a future. And the stars at last listened. The stars blinked cold and distant as the human fleet held its line near the edge of the Sol system. 30 warships, sleek and dark, moved in perfect formation. They did not attack. They did not threaten. They simply were. A wall of steel and fire between Earth and the rest of the galaxy. On the bridge of the Vanguard, Captain Nora Reyes sat in her command chair, eyes on the screen. Sensor data flowed in quiet streams. No enemy ships nearby, no signs of attack, but she knew it. Was only a matter of time. "They're watching," said Lieutenant Dean Kelly, the young man at comms. "I can feel it." Nora nodded. "Let them watch. Let them see we don't run." Back on Earth, Alex Carter stood in the war room beneath Geneva. Maps of space covered the walls. Red dots showed enemy movements. Blue dots showed human ships. The balance was thin, but holding. President Linda Wright entered, her face tired but strong. "Any word from the outer colonies?" Alex pointed to a blinking light near Jupiter. "Mars and Titan are stable. Fuel reserves low, but we're recycling. The new fusion units are working better than expected." "And the people?" she asked. "Angry," Alex said, "but not scared. They see the ships. They see we're fighting back. For the first time, they believe we can win." Linda sat down. "The council will call a meeting. Soon." "I know," Alex said, "and I'll be there. You don't have to go alone." "Yes, I do," he said. "They need to see one thing. Humans don't break." 2 days later, Alex returned to Ethra Station. The air felt heavier this time. The guards looked at him differently. Not with pity, with caution. The council chamber was full. Every seat filled. The mood was sharp, tense. Cavorn stood at the center, his voice loud before Alex even sat down. "Earth has built a war fleet," he said. "They have blocked trade routes. They have attacked council allies. This is not defense. This is rebellion." Alex stayed calm. He walked to the center platform. Again, not his place, but he didn't care. "We have not blocked trade," he said. "We are protecting our own ships. When your fleets attack us, we respond. That is not rebellion. That is survival." The Thalnorian ambassador rose. "Your actions threaten peace. You must stand down, remove your ships. Return the captured Varelian cruiser. Return it, Alex said. You used it to murder 12 of our people. We have the logs, we have the wreckage, and you want us to give it back like nothing happened? He turned to the room. You say we threaten peace. But who broke the peace first? Who fired on a medical freighter? Who lies and cheats and calls it law? No one answered. The Zin elder pulsed red, then blue, a sign of deep thought. Alex went on. Earth did not ask for this. We came in peace. We followed your rules. We waited. We begged. And what did we get? Silence. Lies. Attack. He paused. So now we do things differently. We protect our own. We build our own future. And if you try to stop us, we will stop you. Kavorn stepped forward, his claws raised. You dare speak to us like this? You are nothing. One species, one planet. We can erase you from the stars. Alex looked at him, calm. Maybe. But we've been erased before. By ice, by war, by hunger. And every time, we came back. He tapped his wrist device. A hologram burst to life above the chamber. It showed human cities on Mars, domes glowing under red skies. Farms on Titan, growing food in sealed labs. Ships, fast, strong, built in orbit. Then a live feed. The human fleet, 30 strong, moving into position near the belt. This is not a threat, Alex said. This is a fact. Earth is not leaving. We are not hiding. We are not afraid. He looked at each delegate. You wanted war? You got it. But it won't be on your terms. It will be on ours. We fight to live, not to kill, not to rule, but to exist. The room was silent. Then the Thalnorian ambassador spoke, her voice slow. You say you do not want war. Then what do you want? Alex didn't hesitate. A seat, equal, not as a guest, not as a child, as a member of the Concord. Kavorn laughed. Never! You are not ready. You are too emotional, too violent. We are human, Alex said. And that means we feel, we care. We fight for those we love. Maybe that's what you've lost. Maybe that's why you fear us. He turned and walked to the door. Think about it, he said. Peace is still possible, but only if you see us as equals. If not, then yes, you wanted war. He stepped out. The door closed. Inside the chamber, the silence lasted a long time. Kavorn shouted, He must be punished. Earth must be crushed. But no one moved. The Zin elder pulsed a soft green, curious. The Thalnorian ambassador looked at her screen, reading the data on the human fleet. They did not destroy the Varelian ships. They disabled them. No lives taken. Even their weapons are designed to wound, not kill. Mercy, said a voice from the back. It was a young Varel scientist, not a warrior. They show strength and control. Kavorn turned. Silence. You are not a fighter. No, the scientist said, but I am a thinker, and I see what you refuse to see. Humans are not like us. They are not cold. They are not endless. They are alive, and that makes them dangerous and maybe worth listening to. No one spoke. Meanwhile, on Earth, something strange began to happen. Messages came in from far systems. A mining colony on a frozen moon sent a signal. We support Earth. We have been taxed, beaten, ignored. You are not alone. Then a group of Thalnorian rebels hiding in the Orion belt shared secrets, Varelian supply lines, weak points in council defenses. A Zin outpost, damaged by a so-called pirate attack, asked for human help. Within days, a medical ship arrived. No charge, no demands. Just aid. Word spread. Humans fight back, but they also help. They are strong, but they are fair. Alex read the reports with quiet pride. "This is how we win," he told Linda. "Not just with ships, with truth." "But the council won't give in easily," she said. "No," Alex said, "but they will see. Every act of kindness, every act of strength, it adds up." That night, he stood on the roof again, looking at the sky. A new ship passed overhead, bigger than the rest. The Liberty, just launched. Armed, yes, but also built to carry food, medicine, hope. He smiled. "We're not just surviving," he whispered. "We're showing who we are." And far away, on a dark station near the edge of known space, a Varel soldier watched the same stars. He had seen the battle. He had heard the human captain say, "Disable only, no killing." He thought of his own leaders, who burned whole colonies, for speaking out. He typed a message. It was short. "I want to talk to Earth." He sent it into the void, and for the first time, the galaxy felt a little less cold. The message arrived at 3:17 Geneva time, a simple signal, weak and repeating, sent from a small station near the Draco border. It did not come from a government, not from a fleet. It came from one man. "I am Velik," it said. "I served on the ship that attacked your freighter. I did not fire. I did not agree. I want to speak to Earth. I want to tell the truth." Alex Carter was asleep when the alert came, but he answered fast. Within minutes, he was in the war room, eyes on the screen, reading the words again and again. "Is it real?" asked Dean. "Kelly, the comms officer." Alex looked at the data trail. "The signal came from a Varel supply post. Low power, no backup. If they knew he sent this, they'd kill him." "So he's serious," Nora Reyes said, standing at the door. She had been on duty on the Vanguard, orbiting Mars. Alex nodded. "And if we ignore him, we're no better than the Council." Linda. Wright joined them a moment later. "We can't just bring him here. The Varel will call it theft, spying. They'll use it as an excuse to attack." "Then we don't steal him," Alex said. "We rescue him, and we show the galaxy why." The plan was simple. A small ship, no weapons, marked with a white flag and a medical symbol would go to the station. It would not enter. It would hover outside. If Velik came, they would take him. If not, they would leave. "No force," Alex said. "No tricks. Just a door left open." The ship chosen was the Hope, a fast courier used for supply runs. Captain Nora Reyes would lead the mission. "If this goes wrong," she said, "I want the world to see it was not because we wanted blood." 2 days later, the Hope reached the edge of Varel space. The station was old, built into a dead moon. Lights flickered on its surface. No warships nearby. Just silence. Nora sat in the cockpit, heart steady. "Open comms, send the message." The words went out in all languages, clear and slow. "To Velik of the Varel. This is Captain Nora Reyes of Earth. Your message was heard. We are here. The door is open. If you wish to leave, come now. You will be safe. You will be heard. This is not a trap." She repeated it 3 times. Then they waited. 10 minutes passed. 20. "He's not coming," Dean said, voice low. Nora didn't answer. She kept her eyes on the airlock camera. Then, a flicker. A figure in a gray suit, moving fast through the station's outer hall. He reached the exit, paused, looked back. Then he opened the door and ran. The Hope moved closer. The side door opened. A ramp lowered. Velik sprinted across the frozen ground, his breath visible in the thin air. Halfway there, an alarm sounded behind him. Lights flashed on the station. "Hurry!" Nora whispered. Velik ran harder. A shot fired. Missed. Then he was on the ramp. Inside. The door closed. "Go!" Nora said. The Hope turned and jumped to warp. Back on Earth, the news spread fast. A Virel soldier, a traitor to his own fleet, rescued by humans. The Council was furious. Kavorn screamed at the next emergency meeting. Earth has stolen a loyal soldier. They are holding him, torturing him. This is a crime. Alex stood in the chamber, calm. Velik is not a prisoner. He is a guest. He came to us. He told his story, and we recorded it. He played the video. Velik sat in a simple room, light on his face. He spoke slowly, in his own language, with subtitles. I was on the ship that attacked the human freighter. We were told it was a pirate base. We were wrong. It was a medical ship. I saw the symbol. I told my commander. He said, "Fire anyway. The council needs a reason to act." The room was silent. Velik went on. I did not fire. I refused. I was beaten. I was sent to the outer post, but I could not stay silent. Earth did nothing to us. They helped others. They do not kill. They heal. They are not our enemy. We are the enemy of peace. The video ended. Alex looked at the delegates. You call us liars, but here is one of your own telling the truth. Do you still deny it? Kavorn roared. He is weak, broken. His words mean nothing. Then why are you so afraid of them? Alex asked. No one answered. That night, more messages came in. A Thalnorian colony sent word. We will trade with Earth. We send food. Receive medicine. A Zin outpost offered data on Varelian fleet movements. Balance must be restored. They pulsed. Even a small group of Varel dissidents hiding in the outer rings asked for contact. We do not serve Kavorn. We serve truth. Earth did not respond with weapons. It responded with help. Medical ships flew to the Thalnorian colony. Engineers fixed the Zin sensors. A secure line was opened to the Varel dissidents. No demands, no threats, just trust. On Mars, the first human-made wheat grew under glass. Not much, but enough. The harvest was shared with Titan, with the moon bases, with the ships. Alex watched. The feed from the farm. Green shoots in red soil, life where there was none. We're not just fighting, he said to Linda. We're building, and they're watching, she said. They were, on Ethra Station. The mood had changed. Not all agreed. Kavorn still raged, but others were quiet, thinking. The Thalnorian ambassador asked for a private meeting with Alex. They met in a small room, no guards, no record. I have seen your ships, she said. Your people. You do not act like a species that wants war. We don't, Alex said. We want to live, to grow, to be free. And if the council gives you that, she asked, then we will work with you, trade, explore, protect the peace. She looked at him. What if Kavorn refuses? What if he attacks? Alex didn't smile. Then we will defend, not for hate, for survival, and we will win, because we fight for something real, not power, not fear, but home. She left without a word. But the next day, she stood in the council chamber and said, Perhaps Earth is not the threat. Perhaps the threat is those who fear them. A silence fell. Meanwhile, the human fleet grew, not by stealing, not by force, but by building. New ships launched every week, not just warships, cargo haulers, science labs, rescue vessels. When a small alien freighter broke down near Saturn, the Freedom found it. No questions, no charge. They towed it to safety. The crew sent a message. Thank you. We thought no one would help. Nora Reyes read it and smiled. That's the real victory, she said. Not the battles, the trust. Alex got a copy of the message. He kept it on his desk. One night, he walked outside the compound. The sky was clear. Stars filled the black. He thought of Velik, of the farmer on Mars, of the miner on the frozen moon. Humans were not the strongest, not the oldest, but they were stubborn, kind when they could be, fierce when they had to be. And now the galaxy was starting to see a new signal came in. Not from an enemy, not from a rebel, from the Zin Elder. We wish to meet, It pulsed. Not in war, in peace. Alex sat down and typed one word. Yes. The door was open, and this time it was the council that had to walk through it. The sky over Geneva was gray and heavy with clouds when the shuttle landed. Alex Carter stepped out onto the tarmac, the cold wind tugging at his coat. He didn't look back at the ship. He walked fast toward the security gate where two guards, in dark uniforms, waited. They nodded and led him inside. The meeting room was underground, deep beneath the United Earth compound. The walls were plain, the lights soft. President Linda Wright sat at the long table, her hands folded. General Paul Grant stood by the window, arms crossed. Both turned when Alex walked in. "Well?" Linda asked. "What happened?" Alex sat down. He didn't smile. "They didn't listen. Cavorn accused us of illegal mining. I showed them proof we were attacked. They did nothing." Paul grunted. "I told you, they don't care about us. To them, we're just noise." "Worse," Alex said. "They want us to stay small, weak. If we grow, we become a problem." Linda leaned forward. "What did you say before you left?" Alex looked her in the eye. "I told them. You wanted war, you got it." A silence fell over the room. Paul let out a slow breath. "That's a big step, Alex. Once you say that, there's no going back." "There was no going back already," Alex said. "They froze our trade routes. No more. Helium-3, no neutronium. Our fusion reactors depend on those. How long can we last?" Paul checked a tablet. 6 months. Maybe 8 if we ration. But colonies on Mars and Titan? They won't last that long. No fuel, no heat, no air recycling. Linda stood up. "Then, we don't wait. We act." Alex nodded. "I agree, but not with anger, with purpose." The next day, Earth launched Operation Iron Horizon. It wasn't an attack, it was a statement. 3 human warships, the Vanguard, the Freedom, and the Sentinel, left orbit and headed for the Proxima Centauri supply line. This route had been blocked by the Council. No Earth ships were allowed. But now, escorted by armed vessels, a convoy of freighters followed. No announcements, no warnings, just movement. On the bridge of the Vanguard, Captain Nora Reyes watched the stars through the front glass. She was calm, her voice quiet but firm. "Stay sharp. If they fire, we defend. If they talk, we listen. But we do not turn back." The fleet entered the contested zone. 2 days later, a Varelian cruiser appeared on radar. It was fast, dark, shaped like a blade. It didn't send a message. It fired. Energy bolts ripped through space. One hit the side of the Freedom, but its new shield held. The ship rocked, but stayed in formation. "Return fire," Nora said. "Disable only, no killing." The Vanguard responded with precision. Pulse beams struck the enemy ship's engine and weapon systems. In seconds, the cruiser was dead in space, lights flickering, weapons silent. The other 2 Varelian ships tried to flee. The Sentinel locked on with a non-lethal EMP burst. Both ships powered down. No one died. No ships were destroyed. The human convoy kept moving. Back on Earth, the news spread fast. Videos of the battle played on every screen. People watched in silence, then in pride. For the first time, Earth had stood up and won. But the Galactic Council was furious. They called an emergency meeting on Ethra Station. This time, Alex was summoned back. When he arrived, the room was tense. Cavorn stood at the center, his voice full of rage. "Earth has attacked a council vessel. This is an act of war. They must be punished, their ships seized, their colonies placed under watch." Alex sat in his small seat, quiet. The Thalnorian ambassador spoke next. "This cannot be ignored. Even if the Varelians acted first, the response was too strong. Earth must be held accountable." Alex stood up. "We did not attack. We defended. The Varelian ship fired first. We have the full record. Would you like to see it?" He held up his device. No one asked for it. The Zin Elder pulsed yellow. Neutral. They said nothing. Alex looked around. You say we must follow your rules, but you don't follow them yourselves. When we are attacked, you do nothing. When we defend, you call it war. That's not justice, that's fear. Kavorn stepped forward. Fear? Of you? You are one planet. We are 1,000 worlds. And yet, Alex said, you are afraid of what we might become. He turned to the others. We didn't come here to fight. We came for peace, for trade, for a place among the stars. But you gave us rules without rights. You gave us enemies and called it balance. He paused. So let me be clear. Earth will not beg. We will not crawl. We will protect our ships. We will feed our people. And if you stand in our way, we will move you. The room was silent. Then Kavorn laughed, a harsh, clicking sound. You think a few ships make you strong? We can crush you. We have fleets you cannot imagine. Alex didn't flinch. Maybe, but you haven't crushed us yet. And every time you try, we get stronger. He looked at each delegate. You wanted war? You got it, but not on your terms. On ours. He walked out. This time, he didn't look back. Back on Earth, the mood had changed. People weren't scared anymore. They were awake. In the cities, crowds gathered, not to protest, but to support. Engineers worked day and night to build more ships. Scientists made new weapons, better shields. Even the colonies sent messages. We stand with Earth. Alex sat in his office late that night, looking at the stars on his screen. His phone buzzed. It was Nora Reyes. We're ready, she said. The new fleet is online. All ships armed, all crews trained. We can hold the lanes. Good, Alex said. But we don't want war. We want respect. Then, we'll make them respect us. He smiled faintly. That's the plan. The next morning, 30 human warships left orbit. They didn't go to fight. They went to guard. They formed a line between Earth and the outer colonies, a shield of steel and will, and when a council scout ship approached, it didn't fire. It slowed down. It turned around. Words spread across the galaxy. Earth was no longer asking. Earth was acting. Alex stood on the roof of the compound, watching the sky. A ship passed overhead, silent and fast. We're not alone, he whispered, and somewhere far away on a frozen moon, a miner from Thalnor sent a message to Earth. It said only, "We see you. We remember what you did." The fight had just begun, but for the first time humanity wasn't afraid. They were ready. Alex Carter walked slowly through the long, curved hallway of the Ethra station. The floor was smooth and silver, the walls glowing with a soft blue light. Above him, the ceiling arched like the inside of a giant shell, showing a slow swirl of stars through transparent panels. It was quiet, too quiet. He could hear his own breath, the soft tap of his boots on the metal floor. He was the only human here. He had been the ambassador for Earth for 3 years. 3 years of meetings, of polite words, of being ignored. The Galactic Concord was made up of 12 advanced alien species, each older, each more powerful in their own way than humanity. They had starships that could cross galaxies, cities built on clouds, minds linked across planets. Humans, in their eyes, were still new, young, dangerous. Alex adjusted the simple gray suit he wore. No medals, no bright colors. He wanted to be seen as calm, serious, not flashy. He reached the entrance to the council chamber. 2 tall guards stood there, their bodies covered in dark, hard plates like insect shells. Varelians. They looked at him with no expression, then stepped aside. The room was round, with seats rising in a circle like an ancient theater. In the center was a low platform where speakers stood. Delegates from different species sat in their places. Some floated above their seats. Others sat on cushions. A few stood on all fours. The air smelled faintly of ozone and something sharp, like burnt sugar. Alex walked to the human observer's seat near the back. It was smaller than the others, set slightly apart. He sat down and waited. The meeting began with the usual formal words. The Zin delegate, a tall, crystal-like being, pulsed in soft colors as it spoke about trade routes. The Thalnorian ambassador, a large amphibious creature with deep green skin, grumbled about shipping delays. Everything seemed normal. Then the Virelian delegate rose. His name was Kavorn, and his voice was sharp, like metal scraping stone. "I bring a serious charge," he said. "The human colony near the Orion Nebula has entered a restricted zone. They have mined resources that belong to the Virel Union. This is a clear violation of galactic law." A murmur ran through the room. Alex felt his chest tighten. He knew nothing about this. He turned on his small screen and checked the data. Nothing. No human ships had been near that zone in weeks. "We have proof," Kavorn continued. He waved a clawed hand, and a hologram appeared. Images of a mining drone with the Earth symbol on its side, digging into an asteroid. The other delegates looked at Alex, some with anger, some with pity. Alex stood up. "That image is fake," he said, keeping his voice steady. "Our mining drones have a different design, and the serial number on that machine doesn't match any human system. This is a forgery." Kavorn laughed. "You expect us to believe that? Your kind is always making excuses. You are emotional, unstable. You do not belong in this council." Alex didn't sit down. "Then let me show you the truth." He tapped his wrist device. A new hologram appeared, this one of a human freighter, the Nevada, drifting in space, torn open by energy blasts. Then came the black box data, audio recordings, the last words of the crew. "We're under attack. 3 fast ships, no markings. Fire on the engine block. Mayday, mayday." Then silence. The Nevada was carrying medical supplies to a colony on Centauri 3, Alex said. "It was attacked 3 days ago. We found it near the very nebula you accuse us of mining. The attackers used stealth tech, but our sensors caught a trace. Virelian energy signatures." He looked at Kavorn. "You didn't come here to talk about mining. You came to punish us for surviving your ambush." The room went still. Kavorn hissed. "Lies! You have no right to bring false charges." "I have evidence," Alex said. "I have voices. I have data. And I have the bodies of 12 human beings who trusted the galactic peace. Where is your justice for them?" No one answered. The Thalnorian ambassador shifted in her seat. "Even if this is true, it is an internal matter. The Council does not interfere in species conflicts." "It's not internal," Alex said. "It's war by another name. You give Virelia power, you give them zones, you ignore their raids, and then you blame us when we defend ourselves. That's not peace. That's control." He looked around the room. "You say we are too violent. But who started this? Who fired first? Who hides behind rules they don't follow?" Still, no one spoke. Alex felt something change inside him. Not anger, not fear. Something deeper, certainty. He stepped forward, away from his small seat, and walked to the center platform. The rules said only full members could speak from there, but he didn't care. "You think we are weak," he said. "You think because we came to the stars later than you, we should stay quiet. You think our emotions make us dangerous, but let me tell you what makes humans strong." He paused. "We survive. When the ice came, we survived. When plagues wiped out cities, we survived. When we were divided, when we fought each other, we still reached for the stars. And now that we're here, you want to push us back?" He pointed at Kavorn. "You attacked us. You lied. And now you stand there and call us the threat?" The Zin delegate pulsed red. A sign of warning. Alex didn't stop. "Earth will not beg for its place in this galaxy. We earned it. With every ship we built, every life we lost, every child who looked up at the sky and dreamed of more." He turned to leave. As he reached the door, Cavorn shouted, "You will be punished for this insult! You will be removed from the Concorde!" Alex stopped. He didn't turn around. "You wanted war?" he said, his voice low but clear. "You—" "Got it." Then he walked out. The door closed behind him with a soft hiss. He didn't run, didn't hurry. He walked down the long hall the same way he came. But now, his mind was clear. The years of waiting, of hoping for fairness, were over. Back on the shuttle to Earth, he opened a secure channel to President Linda Wright. "It's done," he said. "They won't listen." They never did. There was a pause on the other end. Then Linda said, "What do we do now?" Alex looked out the window. Earth was a blue dot in the distance. "Now," he said, "we protect our own, and we show them what humanity really is." He closed the channel. In his pocket, he carried a small data chip. On it, the full report of the Nevada attack, the hidden messages from other colonies, the names of the dead. This was no longer about diplomacy, it was about survival. And Alex knew one thing for certain. Humans never backed down when their backs were against the wall. The stars had better be ready. Elena Morris sat in the control seat of the Aesir, her hands gripping the arms of the chair. The warning light on the main screen blinked red. Incoming signal detected. Origin. Deep space. Destination. Multiple Terran colonies. She ran a quick scan. The signal was not a message. It was a beacon, a call, and it had already been answered. 3 blips appeared on the radar, then 6, then 12. They were coming from beyond the edge of the solar system, moving fast. No warp trail, no heat signature until they were close. Just like the Cathar. "How long?" she asked the core. "First ship will reach orbit in 4 hours. Fleet estimated at 12 vessels. Size and class match, Cathar dreadnoughts." 4 hours. Not enough time. The Azure was strong, but it was one machine. Even at full power, it could not fight a whole fleet alone. She tried to open a channel to Earth. Static. She tried Mars. Jupiter relay. Nothing. The Cathar were blocking all signals. Only military-grade pulses could get through. And those needed time. She looked at the ruined colony dome through the external camera. The ground still smoked where the tunnel had collapsed. Paul Griggs was gone, but whatever he had become was still down there, and the people in the tubes, they were not dead. Not yet, but they were not human either. She had to move. "Prepare for combat mode," she said. The Aesir responded at once. Armor plates shifted, covering weak spots. Rail cannons charged. The plasma lance on its back powered up with a low hum. The machine was built for war, and it knew it. But Elena knew something else. She could not just fight. She had to warn Earth. She opened the emergency pulse system. It was old tech, built to send one short message through jamming. It would drain power, slow the Aesir, but it was the only way. She typed the message. "Cathar fleet incoming. 12 ships. Estimated arrival 4 hours. Proxima B lost. Repeat, Cathar are back." She added Jason Cole's name as the source, to give it weight. Then she sent it. The pulse fired into space, a narrow beam aimed at the inner planets. It would take 20 minutes to reach Mars, longer to reach Earth. Now all she could do was wait and fight. She moved the Aesir toward the colony dome. If the Cathar were using it as a base, she had to destroy it. No more hosts. No more spreading. As she approached, the ground cracked open again. Not from the same spot. From 5 places. Black smoke rose. Then shapes climbed out. They were not fully Cathar, not fully human. They moved on long limbs, their bodies twisted, eyes glowing red. Some wore torn clothes. Others had weapons fused to their arms. The converted. They saw the Aesir and stopped. Then, as one, they turned and ran at it. Elena didn't wait. She fired the left rail cannon. A bright streak cut through the air. The first 3 converted, exploded into pieces. The shockwave knocked down the rest, but they got up. More came from the tunnels, dozens, then hundreds. She switched to rapid fire. The cannons boomed again and again. Dust and fire filled the air. Bodies flew. But still they came. They don't feel pain, she said. They don't stop. Tactical suggestion. Target the beacon. If it is destroyed, control may be lost. She looked at the dome. The pillar was underground, but its power source had to be near the surface. She aimed the Azer's foot lasers at the dome's power unit, the place where the tunnel had started. 2 quick bursts. The unit exploded. Underground, the light flickered. The converted slowed. Some fell. Others twitched like they were fighting something inside. But then, a new sound. A deep hum from the sky. Elena looked up. A ship broke through. The clouds. It was huge. Longer than a city block. Black, with jagged edges. No windows, no lights. It moved without sound, hanging in the air like a shadow, a Cathar dreadnought. And it was not alone. 2 more appeared behind it. They circled once, then opened fire. Blue beams shot down, hitting the Azer's back. The armor cracked. Alarms rang inside the cockpit. "Shield at 60%, the Corps said. Elena fired back. The rail cannons hit the lead ship, but the beams just bounced off. "Armor too strong," she said. "Need a weak spot." She remembered the old files. The Cathar ships had one soft point, the core, deep inside, near the front. But to hit it, she needed to get close. Too close. The dreadnoughts fired again. One beam hit the Azer's leg. Metal melted. The machine fell to one knee. Elena gritted her teeth. "Not today." She activated the thrusters. The Aesir jumped, using its good leg and the blast from its back engines to launch forward. It flew through the air, straight at the lead ship. The Cathar tried to pull away, but the Aesir was fast. It grabbed the ship with both hands, holding on as they spun. "Plasma lance full power," she said. The weapon on its back fired, a white-hot blade shooting out. Elena drove it into the front of the ship. The dreadnought shook. Black smoke poured from the wound. Then a massive explosion. The Aesir was thrown back, crashing into the ground hard. Its right arm broke off. The cockpit cracked, but the ship was dead. 1 down, 2 more, and more converted crawling from the tunnels. Elena tried to stand, but the Aesir wouldn't respond. Systems were failing. Power at 30%, then a new signal. Weak, broken, but human. She opened it. "This is Jason Cole. If you can hear this. I'm on Proxima B. I saw what happened." Her heart jumped. "Jason, where are you?" "Underground. Old maintenance tunnel. They don't know I'm here. I have data. The fleet. Their plan. Everything." She checked the map. There was a network of old tunnels under the colony, built before the Cathar came. If he was there, he might be safe. But how to reach him? The Aesir couldn't move well. One leg was damaged, one arm gone, but it still had power, still had weapons. She made a choice. She opened the emergency hatch and climbed out. The air was cold, the sky dark with smoke. She ran, her suit protecting her from the cold and radiation. She reached the tunnel entrance and went in. It was narrow, dark, filled with old pipes. She moved fast, gun in hand. After 10 minutes, she saw light. Jason was there, sitting behind a broken console. He looked tired, dirty, but alive. "You came," he said. "You sent the signal," she said. "Why didn't you answer my pulse?" "No power down here. I used a hand unit. Took hours to charge." He handed her a small chip. "This has everything. The Cathar plan, their weak points, how they control the converted, how to stop the beacon." She took it. "You did good," he smiled weakly. "I just didn't want to die doing nothing." Outside, the ground shook. Another dreadnought fired. Elena looked at the tunnel ceiling. We have to go. I can't move fast. I hurt my leg. She didn't hesitate. She picked him up and carried him. Back on the surface, the Aesir was still down, but it could fire. She laid Jason behind a rock. Stay here. Then she climbed back into the cockpit. Systems flickered. Power at 20%, she inserted. The chip. Data filled the screen. There it was. The Cathar core frequency, and a way to disrupt it. If she could hit the second dreadnought with a pulse at that frequency, it might shut down. But she had one shot. She aimed the rail cannon, not at the ship, but at the ground near it. She loaded a special round, one that would explode and send the pulse into the air. Firing in 3, she said. The cannon fired. The shell hit the ground. A flash. A wave of energy spread out. The dreadnought shook. Its lights went out. It tilted, then crashed into the colony dome. The third ship pulled back. For the first time, the Cathar were retreating, but Elena knew it wasn't over. She looked at the stars. More ships were coming, and Earth had not answered.